Hello, my name is Fiona and I work at the Mississauga Library. Today we will be making cheese in Steam Club. So what we'll need, we're going to be making an unaged goat cheese. So you will need a high-fat milk, so I'm using 3.8% milk, 1 liter. I need half a teaspoon of citric acid dissolved in a little bit of water. It doesn't have to be too precise how much water. Citric acid, you can find it in a lot of grocery stores. You can buy it online. Also, novelty cook stores also have it sometimes. You can usually find it in the spice section. What else do we need? Seasonings. So for this amount that we're making 1 liter, I'm using half a teaspoon of salt and about a tablespoon of herbs. I like dill and pepper in my goat cheese, so that's what I'm using, but it can be to your choice. Just make sure not to put too much salt or else it's too salty. We also need a pot to heat the milk in. What else? We need some cheesecloth. So this is cheesecloth. Likewise, often in the canning or spice section in grocery stores, there's often cheesecloth. I've also found it in Korean stores quite a bit. We'll need a colander that will strain the curds in, and we need a bowl that is large enough to hold the colander with some extra space. Okay, so to get started, let's pour the milk into the pot. So a basic explanation of what we're doing and how cheese making works in general. To make on each cheese, what we're going to do is heat the milk, curdle that milk with an agent, the citric acid in this case, strain out the curds from the whey, and then press the curds into cheese. If you've ever had lumps form in your milk tea after you added some lemon juice by accident, or had milk or soy milk separate into lumps and watery stuff in your fridge, you've experienced curdling. Curdling is the breaking of an emulsion. An emulsion is the mix of 2 or more liquids that normally wouldn't want to mix together. In milk, the milk fat and the whey are the 2 liquids that we're dealing with. So we're going to separate the milk fat out of the whey. So now that we've poured the milk in the pot, we are going to heat it to a simmer. So I'm going to put it on high, and I'll get back to you once it's at simmer. Okay, so the milk is now at a simmer, so I'm going to add the citric acid solution. So I'm pouring it in now, and I can see that it's already curdling. Okay, so I'm just going to let it stay on the heat for 1 more minute, and then I'm going to turn the heat off completely and cover the lid. Okay, it's been 10 minutes, and the milk's had a full chance to curdle. So you can see there's solids separating out of a liquid called whey. What happened when we added the citric acid to the milk is that it lowers the pH and breaks the emulsion of the milk fat and the whey. This reaction works best if the milk is hot but not boiling. pH is a scale that describes how acidic or basic something is, which in chemistry, if you want to get more complicated, is related to the concentration of hydrogen ions in a solution. So what does that mean? Anything with pH lower than 7 is acidic. Anything pH higher than 7 is basic, or alkaline sometimes it's called. And anything that is around 7 is neutral. Okay, now that the milk has separated, I'm going to strain it in the cheesecloth that I put in the colander, and the whey will pour out of the colander into the bowl so that we can collect it. Let's do that. So how this works is the milk fat is separated out of the whey and formed what's called curds. Whey is a water-based solution with proteins like casein dissolved in it, whereas the milk fat is, at room temperature, a liquid lipid or fat. If you've ever tried to make a salad dressing without an emulsifier like mustard, you will know that fats or oils and water-based solutions do not like to mix. The milk fat and the whey in store-bought milk is emulsified by the pasteurization heat treatment it gets at the factory. If you ever see untreated milk, it naturally separates over time. When we made yogurt, instead of breaking the emulsion in our yogurt video, we encouraged the milk to thicken even more by developing a protein matrix with microbes and casein to hold the milk together into a gel. Okay, so it's been about 10 minutes and I've let all of the whey strain out. So that's the whey. So it has pretty much all of its milk fat taken out, which is right here. So you can keep the whey and you can use it for cooking and baking. So now the next step that it's drained, I'm going to add the dill and salt and pepper, so the flavorings. And I'm just going to mix it in. Make sure you have clean hands and utensils when you do this. So there's a couple of ways you can mold your cheese. First, take it out, and if there's any more liquid, you can squeeze it out. Don't squeeze too much, or else the cheese will be really dried up. And you can also mix in the spices this way. Okay, so I've put the strained cheese down on a tea towel, and now we're ready to mold. So you have a couple of options. Some people just mold it into a log with plastic wrap and do it that way. Otherwise, you can use plastic cups or like this bottom of a Pringle can that I got. You can mold it in that. You could probably use like cupcake molds as well. And again, make sure you have clean hands when you do this. So just push it down in there. Make sure there's no air gaps. I think we'll probably be able to fit all the cheese in just this one. So just one big cheese wheel. get the last. All right, pat, pat, pat. Okay, so just keep it upside down like this for a couple of minutes if it's still a little bit runny, so it can run off. But I think this is pretty dry, so let's try to unmold it right now. And ta-da! We have made goat cheese. So this is a fresh cheese. It's unripened, it's not aged. So this is going to go bad in about a week. So make sure you only make as much as you can eat in a week, because you don't want to waste this. So that's it for today. So thank you for watching. Please visit our website or Facebook page for details on 24/7 service where you can download ebooks, audiobooks, music, magazines, and so much more. If you want to continue on your cheese making journey, we have a lot of books in our collection and probably some ebooks that can teach you about cheese making. So that's it for now. Bye!